Trilogy store. Oh yeah, and then watch them chop up a fire. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film preps on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film prep, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the fun, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film prep, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the fun, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. Grab your popcorn, sit right down. Film Threats, the hottest show in town. Yeah. Laughs, chills, and deep debates. Chris and Ellen, let's celebrate. Woo.
He's eating a salad at early in the morning. I do not get this. I do not get this. Where is he? Here he is, right here. Let's go old school.
Alan!
Salad? That's what you're complaining about?
Yeah, I'm complaining about eating salad. What are you doing?
You can eat anything for breakfast. I mean, I could have eaten anything, but I chose a salad. Why not?
Well,
there's worse things. There are worse things in life I could have been eating for breakfast.
I am at the glorious Rio Hotel in Las Vegas. I'm here for AFM. That is the American Film Market. I picked myself up a poster. Here we go. The American Film Market is here. I'll be posting a video on the channel, covering the market, the American Film Market. I am moderating a panel on Saturday on micro-budget filmmaking. People are here to raise money for their film projects. They've got star attachments and whatnot. So I'm going to give people the scoop on that. But we have so much news. Check this out. I picked up like all the trades here. They're giving away, they got all the trades, Variety, Reporter, all this.
With an animation what?
Animation magazine.
Oh, okay.
I used to read that all the time. This in the Reporter, we should talk about this next week. Why Hollywood won't make room for the next generation from the Hollywood Reporter. We will find this article online, discuss on Monday, but it's insane here. It's insane. It's Vegas. I don't always have great experiences in Vegas, to be honest.
Yeah, mine was pretty sucky last time.
I think both of us. So I'm keeping it low key. And
this alleged pizza I bought was counter pizza, a slice of, because I needed food if I was going to last the rest of the day.
And everything is so expensive, it's beyond. It is just, it's unreasonable.
I have to ask you though, Rio is notorious for being a really sucky hotel. How is it now?
They renovated it. I'm in one of the renovated rooms, and it's not bad, to be honest. It's a suite, so pretty nice. And I got it at a cheap rate. So yeah. So I'm giving a tour like tomorrow. It might have to be a pre-recorded video because the Wi-Fi in the hotel, the Palms, where it's at, is awful. But I'm going to give people an inside look at AFM so they understand what it is, why you're there, and what you're doing. But we have tons of news stories and tons of reviews. An early reaction to Gladiator 2. We have reactions to Wicked. We've got movies that I saw. I've got some movies I've seen. So we'll get to those. And we've also got a lot of people in the chat. So let's say hi to people here. Who's here? Here we go.
KG Jung just became a member. Okay. Sons and Shadows. Morning chat. How many cups of coffee is Chris at this morning? What's the over-under is 1.
It's 1. I waited in line like a half hour to get it.
The nerd far away. This is going to be one of those days where I have to tell my office mates that unless she is bleeding, stop talking to me once the live stream is going. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey, thank you, Nerd Far Away. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a member. We're doing a giveaway in the middle of the show for members only. Check the members tab. That's your tip because you got here early.
Bill S. Preston, Esquire. It's morning in America. And what a beautiful morning it is. Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com.
And I can't wait for Monday. We are doing Atomic Lori is in the midst of a shop overhaul. Oh my God. I have seen the new designs. It's insane. Okay. We've got Film Threat wrapping paper, Christmas and holiday themed shirts and merch, including underwear with your face on it, Alan. I am going to wear underwear with your face.
So my face will be in your area.
Your face will be definitely.
I'm Bluey, goddammit.
How dare you say that? That's awful. Yeah, so I will show you the new shop designs soon. Very excited for those designs. All right. First, I want to issue a correction. I did not think that there was sexy Handmaid's Tale outfits, but because of the results of the election, however you feel about that, we've discussed it. Handmaid's Tale outfits seem to always make a comeback. They're very popular outfits here. But I did not realize there was actually a sexy Handmaid's Tale outfit. I doubted it at first. And with a simple Google search, you can find it. And I think really these might be popular. What do you think, Alan?
Yes. Now I want to see the show. If the show's like this, I'm going for it.
It's not like this, but Handmaid's Tale always seems to pop up when women feel oppressed. Like it's becoming the Handmaid's Tale. Maybe they're overreacting a bit. I am all about it. If it is going to be the outfit on the right, I'm in favor of it. I'm in favor of it. Please. I feel like if you feel like you can pull this outfit off, please. I'm in favor of it.
Do we know what the cleavage line is on this one?
No, I don't have a shot there, but
I mean, it could show more leg.
I'm just saying I doubted it. I doubted the existence of this outfit. And sure enough, there's literally the sexy version of every outfit when it comes to Halloween. So that is, I'm issuing a correction. So I wanted to say that. Couple other things I got to tell you about. There is a reading. I did not know about this. There was a Superman 5 script when Christopher Reeve was doing Superman. They were, of course, he did the last Superman movie with Christopher Reeve was The Quest for Peace. I'm kind of mixed on it, but there was a script in development. It was Superman 5 Reborn. And that script was to be produced by the Salkinds. And there is a reading of the script. I have to share this with you, and it's free. It's in Los Angeles. They're getting actors together. It's from the Mr. Coacher Instagram. I don't know if you can read this, but you can't read it. Why, Alan? I'll read it. Okay. I am pleased to officially announce that we have a date and location set for our live script reading performance of Superman Reborn, the unmade 5th Christopher Reeve Superman movie. There was a third draft of the story that leaked on the internet many years ago. However, that is not the draft that we will be using. We will be using the first draft, which was initially signed off and intended by producer Ilya Salkind, writers Mark Jones and Carrie Bates, before getting revision notes from Warner Brothers DC at the time. This is an exclusive that the world has never seen before. There are major differences between the drafts. I feel this will give a sense of closure and celebration to the legacy of Christopher Reeve as Superman. We will be at Broadwater, LA in Hollywood, Tuesday, November 12th at 7 p.m. 6320 Santa Monica Boulevard. The performance will be followed by a live Q&A with producer Ilya Salkind, screenwriter Mark Jones. We will put the link to this Instagram post in the description of this episode and this news story. I'm really excited about this. I can't go. So next week, November 12th.
Okay.
I read it. You just heard me read it.
I didn't catch the date. Sorry.
All good, man. All good. Dude, I'm tired.
No, it was kind of like, I'm not going to this. And then you're talking about it. It's like, oh, I might actually go to this.
Well, okay. All the info's in the Instagram post. I'll post in the private chat. I want to go. I cannot go, but it's supposed to be like, and in the story, Superman dies and is reborn in a white Superman outfit. So I don't know. I like stuff like this. I wrote a book years ago. You can still find it used on Amazon called The 50 Greatest Movies Never Made. It's on Kindle. You can buy used copies. I wrote this book in the late 90s. Okay. So some of the movies have actually gotten made that were in the book. But it's a lot of stories of unfinished films, projects that were developed. Like Stanley Kubrick was going to make a Napoleon movie starring Jack Nicholson and stage real battles with the Romanian army. This is before big digital effects. So I love like unmade scripts and failed film projects. It's an obsession of mine. So if you are able to check out this Superman 5 script live reading, go to it. And I'm trying to get the video from the event. I'm talking to the people, the organizers, trying to get the video. So,
and it looks like the proceeds of the event will go to White Dudes for Harris. So.
Way to bring it down, Alan. Way to bring it down. Okay, we have other news stories. We will get to your comments here. But this is the biggest news. There is a new Star Wars development. Let me bring up the story here. This is episode 10, 11, and 12. Simon Kinberg has been tapped by Lucasfilm to write and produce. Not just write, produce it. This presumably would be the continuing adventures of the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious. That is Rey Skywalker. We will see her continuing adventures, and Finn and Poe, Chewbacca, the droids, Lando Calrissian. So Simon Kinberg, known for such films as the X-Men movies that were not very good, quite frankly. So the story here, if I read it, is all BS, regurgitating things we already know. But this is yet another announcement of something where there's a whole bunch of other announcements. And it even says in the story, insiders disputed by intel that Kinberg will continue that storyline, saying this instead will begin a new saga and sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects with James Mangold, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. As usual, Disney, Lucasfilm, and Disney are not commenting, but that's the rumor. Are you excited about an episode 10, 11, and 12, Alan?
Well, first, I'm confused. Where does the Rey movie fit in all this?
That's exactly right. Is the Rey movie separate? Is this a continuation of the saga, as they say?
Well, I mean, it is the continuation of the saga, just because they're officially calling it 10 through 11 or 10 through 12. You know, I mean, I think the first reaction everyone had when reading this was, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you could do worse than Simon Kinberg. But, you know, the biggest issue is where we were left off after Rise of Skywalker. You know, who cares? Who cares? And or even worse, where do you envision Star Wars moving from here after Rise of Skywalker?
I think getting away from the Skywalker family, and if you start a whole new trilogy with new characters, who cares? Who
Mhm.
cares ultimately? I think the only people we can guarantee will be in it is R2 and 3PO because they're just, behind the mask, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
Kenny Baker has passed away, so there's no one in the R2 outfit. It's just a robot, an actual. It's an RC. It's an RC, a fancy RC car on set, to be frank. And then C3PO, they're gonna have somebody else play that. I don't know. I think the only thing you can guarantee is the droids will be in it. They're the connecting fabric. It could be all new characters, and the Rey movies separately will basically wrap up her story, and there'll be a whole new set of characters. But check this out, thanks to Atomic Lori from Culture Crave, every Star Wars thing in development. Can you see this, Alan?
no, but
Let me zoom in on it, and we'll start from the top, okay? Let me zoom in. Give you wait, I can't. Here's what I'll figure out how to do it here. But there are a lot of things in development here, which is why this it's sort of like there needs to be some follow-up. I mean, they generally don't cancel projects. They just stop talking about them.
Mhm.
I'll zoom in on this so you can see it better here. But here's the status of all the upcoming Star Wars film projects. All right, let's take a look. Let me zoom in. Is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me reset this. Start from the top. I want to count. Use your fingers. So we got 3. Okay, I'm counting. You read.
Okay, Star Wars. I'm going from the top. Simon Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy, Mandalorian and Grogu, The New Jedi Order, James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie. There's Lando. There's Dave Filoni's untitled Star Wars movie, Taika Waititi's untitled Star Wars movie, Sean Levy's untitled Star Wars movie.
Wait. That's 10.
It's 10, yeah. Rogue Squadron, and then Rian Johnson's trilogy. It's weird that one's on there still.
All of these were announced.
Yep.
This is from Culture Crave. These are all the announced projects from Lucasfilm movies, not TV, movies. And by my count, that is 14 films. Disconnected, some in different eras. The New Jedi Order is the Daisy Ridley movie, the follow-up to Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Mandalorian and Grogu is kind of standalone. Simon Kinberg's trilogy is something new, episodes 10 through 12. The James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie is 25,000 years before. Lando was going to be a TV show, but it's now being done by Donald and Stephen Glover. Donald Glover, of course, plays Lando. I thought he was very good. I thought he was good. I really like Donald Glover actually a lot. Dave Filoni's movie, which wraps up all of the TV shows, kind of brings all those storylines. Taika Waititi's movie announced. Sean Levy, Jonathan Tropper is writing it. The Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins sounded promising. Nothing on that. And Rian Johnson announced, never canceled. What do we think of this?
I mean, first of all, I think a lot of these projects are done, and they're just in a way of saving face by just not talking about it. And then the more I read this, it's exclusive from Deadline, but is it true? I guess it's more. It's been disputed by multiple sources that it's 10 through 12. So there's still a little cloud of mystery behind it. But, other than Mandalorian Grogu, I question everything else, if it's going to come out or not. It just shows you the state that Lucasfilm is in. They're just throwing shit on the wall. and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think these are going to happen, quite frankly.
Yeah. Like I said, only one is guaranteed to happen, and that's Mandalorian and Grogu.
I think the Rey movie may end up happening, not because of Shameen Abed-Chinoy, the director, but because they cannot do Daisy Ridley dirty like that. I think it would be a humiliation for her, and I can't see them doing it. But what they never do, they never unannounce a movie. Once announced, it sort of sits there in development. And by the way, this is not unusual. If you go to any studio, they have a wall. I've been there. I've been in the rooms where they have a wall of scripts on the side, all written in a Sharpie is the name of the movie. Tons of things. Everything that exists is in development, but you don't announce it. You develop secretly, and then when the money comes together, then you announce it. Like, okay, we've got the money, the cast, the schedule. We're in production, shooting on this date. Boom, announce. But to announce all this stuff while it's in development is very unwise. You've lost the trust of fans.
Well, I think
thoughts before we go to comments.
I mean, wasn't the rumor like so the new Jedi Order? I mean, I think what everyone was saying was that it just felt like that Lucasfilm was trying to announce something for the sake of announcing something, and whether it was really happening or not. The other thing is, when you have a project in development, are there things that happen when you cancel something that you would want to not happen, so therefore you just keep the project in limbo? Meaning, like, are there rights that they have? Are there contracts with actors? Is there money that has to be paid out if a production doesn't go forward? I think you know more about it than I do, but am I just speaking out of my ass, or is there something to it?
I don't know why they're doing this. I think it's really about preserving Kathleen Kennedy, preserving her position, because she has so much going on. How could they, she has to stay there to oversee these projects. So I really don't see anything changing dramatically until she leaves, but she doesn't have the power to greenlight a project, because each of these projects costs in the hundreds of millions of dollars. She can develop anything she wants. She can't make it unless she gets approval from above. And I think she's using announcements as a form of leverage to basically maintain her position. So let's go to comments here. We have a lot of comments from people.
All right. Sons and Shadows gifted 5 Film Dart memberships. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Sons and Shadows.
Lord comment for 2. All you need to do is dig up the actor for season 5. And Lord comment also says more Star Wars, more Skywalker Saga. Cue Failhorn. Womp womp. Tyzilla 83 for $4.99. The way Gore pronounces, I know, Chewbacca, sounded like the way Trump would say, "Love you, boys."
Hey, thank you so much, Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's how I learned it. Thomas Pickett for 5. We lived long enough that R2D2 and C3PO are actual robots.
Oh, that's funny, Thomas. That's great. Thank you so much.
Mark Clement, we should get a court order to stop Disney to produce any more Star Wars material. Well, I mean, they own it.
Someone should take them to court.
Yeah.
We already did that.
Stephen Jordan, like Magneto said, they will never learn. Andrew Cram gifted 1 Film Thread membership. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Thanks. All right, time to pivot. We have more news stories. And one of the biggest here, Wicked first reactions are here. We are seeing it soon, Alan and I.
I'm seeing it.
We have first reactions from Rotten Tomatoes. I'd like you to read some of these, Alan. We will react to it. And based on what I've seen, and I've heard directly from one person who has seen it, it is surprising. It is surprising. And I am a huge fan of the play.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
When I watch the movie, I will be constantly comparing it to the play.
Yes, the play is. I have seen this play and Les Miserables more than any other play. But the first reactions and the main thing, it will exceed your expectations. Early social media reactions to John M. Chu's musical say it's one of the best stage to screen adaptations ever, led by stunning performances from Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Why don't we don't need to set up the context here. We get it. Here are quotes from people. Why don't you read the quotes?
Yeah, I gotta pull this up.
Okay, cool.
Actually, it's easy to read it from here. From Jazz Tangay from Variety, the world is not ready for how great Wicked is. John M. Chu, Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana Grande have gifted us with a musical masterpiece that is much more than we could have ever expected. Wicked lives up to the hype and often succeeds it. Hands down, one of the year's best films, Scott Menzel, We Live Entertainment.
I talked to Scott and he loved it. He said there's one scene in particular, if you're a fan of the play, that you audiences are going to go wild. Let's keep reading these.
Okay. I was delighted and surprised. Simon Thompson, the playlist. Wicked exceeded my expectation. I mean, that's the headline. Wicked is solid, sumptuously realized, occasionally quite moving. Drew Taylor, the rap. And John Chu is a musical genius, and the world he creates and the performance he captures are really next level. Chris Murphy, Vanity Fair. I will agree with that regarding John M. Chu.
There's more. Let's keep going.
What if we've been worried about it? As someone who loves The Wizard of Oz and the Wicked musical, I was skeptical about it, and I was wrong. Wicked is everything cinema should be. Chris Murphy, believe me when I say it is a complete and utter slay. You will be gagged beyond belief. Everything you think the film looks like from your cracked iPhones is wrong. Clayton Davis, Variety, Wicked rocks, kids. And then Simon Thompson again. While this perhaps won't convey many anti-musical folks, genre fans, and diehard Ozians will feast upon this.
Keep reading. I want to get to a point here.
Okay,
we got to keep going down here with the comments.
Yes.
Now this is the thing that I think you and I are most concerned about, because you and I have seen the play.
Yes.
So, and I loved it.
Yes.
Also, did I mention I'm straight? But I love the play.
And I am engaged in a heterosexual relationship.
There you go. But Alan, if you would read these, and I got to show you guys something. Okay. Go ahead.
Does it do the Broadway show justice? One of the most perfect musical adaptations to ever exist. I would, Lauren from WBAL TV. Wicked is the best music to movie adaptation since Chicago and Mamma Mia. Okay, it's giving best movie musical since Chicago, and that one went all the way, honey. And then finally from Scott. Wicked is a cinematic spectacle that serves as one of the very best big screen adaptations of a Broadway musical ever. John M. Chu perfectly captures the magic of the Broadway show while adding some of his own unique flourishes to the source material. There is one scene that fans of the Broadway show are going to absolutely lose their minds over. And then Simon says, there were 3 kids next to me at my screening, clearly huge Wicked fans, and they were losing their shit over the entire time, almost the entire time. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's encouraging. I will say this. I am concerned. I have concerns. What do I have concerns about? Well, let me show you. The lead actress who plays Elphaba, what's her name again?
Cynthia Erivo.
She's been in the news of late and made some, it just has gotten a dumb, it's a thing that always gets blown out of proportion. She didn't like that she was kind of covered up when they did a
poster
tribute a poster homage to the original Broadway poster, but the way that she was dealing with this in the media was very catty, and now I can't unsee this. And that's right. She reminds me of Joy Reid from MSNBC, a stable person in the news business. Very stable, never says anything too crazy. So I don't know. I can't unsee this now. So you also can't unsee it. So I'm showing it to you.
Yeah.
I'm showing it to you now. So there we are. What do you think, Alan?
I mean, I'm hopeful. I mean, I trust Scott. So, we'll see. Like, again, the issues I have is that Wicked is going to get the Into the Woods treatment where it just feels too CG fantastical, that you kind of you lose that kind of theater magic. Again, I'm straight as well. And also just the comments that I've heard from Cynthia Erivo, it has nothing to do with the fact that she is Black. I'm okay with her having been cast in the role, but the way she conducted herself behind the scenes just worries me. But other than that, maybe the gatekeepers at Warner Brothers is saying, no, do this right. Maybe, I mean, I did not like Into the Heights, but I do like the way John M. Chu directed it and shot it.
You mean Into the Woods?
In the Heights. Sorry.
In the Heights, yeah.
Okay.
Alan, if you had coffee today, I'm concerned about you.
It's these stupid Broadway titles that just kind of meld together.
They do. They're sort of generic. It's weird.
I know.
So, right.
But I almost walked out of In the Heights, and it all had to do with Lin-Manuel Miranda's music.
Yeah, I did not love that movie at all.
Yeah. But John M. Chu, Crazy Rich Asians, he's just been nailing it. I went to the luncheon that he was at, and he talked about how, he really resisted doing Asian American movies. He just wanted to become a Hollywood director.
Yeah.
And he was given opportunity after, and it wasn't until Crazy Rich Asians that it was like, this is the one. This is the Asian American film he's going to do.
I like that.
He had a part.
Not Asian. I like it. It's a good romantic comedy.
Absolutely. And that's his whole philosophy. So, when the first when it was talked about that Wicked was going to come to the movies, and they announced John M. Chu and the cast, it was like, I'm in. It's just seeing the trailers and then seeing the news behind the scenes just kind of soured me. So I'm seeing it a week from Saturday. So that'll be my first shot.
All right. I look forward to your review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the gayest review ever.
It will be.
Let's go to your comments here.
Alan Horkin, even if I wanted to see the movie version of a musical, I would not be happy about it being split into two parts.
Yeah, that concerns me quite a bit.
Yeah, but the thing is I've always complained about movie musicals, the fact that they have to cut so much out in order to fit that 90-minute to 2-hour runtime. And I think the last one to get it all in there was West Side Story. All right, Patrick Lemire, Wicked is patient zero of good is evil, evil is good. But the thing is, the musical came out long before this became a thing. Yeah,
and the book came out. And I can just tell you this, it's a great story. Mm-hmm. It is such a good story. I'm watching Wicked going, couldn't the story of Anakin and Obi-Wan, their friendship that turned dark, that if it was like it was told in Wicked, would have been amazing. It is a great story, and it preceded this. It's this version of the story done well.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when Maleficent came out, and the word was that this was the movie version of Wicked, and that just shows you how old this story is.
Yeah, but Maleficent was terrible. All right, let's keep reading.
Wicked is by the guy who made that awful Gem movie. It's hard to believe it's anything but a train wreck. Look, when you go into Hollywood, you make whatever film they give you.
Yeah, and Crazy Rich Asians is just a great romantic comedy. Yeah.
But he had earned his way to get a property like Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
he did. He also did Step It Up 2. And he did one of the G.I. Joe movies that I don't think people are really talking about. So again, if you're gonna be a Hollywood director, you got to make bad Hollywood movies on your way up.
I'm reserving judgment.
Okay, Patrick Lemire. But is this the gayest Wizard of Oz ever? It will be. Yeah. Wes Ray, Wicked is Brat.
There you go. Okay. More stuff here. Did you hear about this?
No.
We have long discussed the fall of movie theaters. Movie theaters still struggling. But we have this story from Deadline. AMC Entertainment plans to go on an offense with major upgrades to movie theaters amid box office recovery. If you would read the first bit of this, Alan.
Okay. Let me get to where you are.
From Deadline.
Yes. CEO Adam Aron laid out the details of an initiative during the quarterly conference call with investors and analysts, adding that a press release Thursday would aim to fill in a few blanks. He predicted the reinvestment would generate attractive shareholder returns and help differentiate AMC in the theater sector. Financial specifics largely were absent from Aron's remarks, though he hinted at it. Depending on the pace of renovations, costs likely will run into the hundreds of millions. The plan will start in the U.S., but it is expected to reach international markets operated by Odeon. The company's third quarter numbers beat Wall Street expectations, with AMC swinging to an adjusted loss per share of 4 cents from a profit of 8 cents in the year earlier. I'll skip down. New seats already have been put in at high-grossing locations, including Burbank, congratulations, and New York City's Empire on 42nd Street and Lincoln Square uptown. Additional legroom to a total of 4 feet between rows will be another result. And laser projection will replace traditional methods. A new auditorium format called AMC XL will feature expanded screen sizes, aiming to capture recent moviegoer enthusiasm for IMAX and other ultra-big screen experiences. Citing expected multi-year rising box office, Aron said the company can choose to go fast or go slow with the upgrades, completing them in a span ranging from 4 to 7 years. In addition to benefits from the post-COVID box office recovery, Aron noted that some key debt repayments have been pushed further out into the future, enabling the company to allocate resources to the near to medium term and to its core theater assets.
Okay, that's good. I have seen this. I go to AMC Burbank 16. They did replace the seats into those loungy, comfortable ones. You can kind of, you can kick your feet up, it pushes you back. You sometimes fall asleep. They're too comfortable. That's my complaint.
Yeah.
Is this going to help theaters?
Again, it'll help theaters if good movies come out. Let's be real. And I think they mentioned it there. They're expecting, after the strikes and everything, they're expecting an onslaught of better films. And also, I predict that come January, the price of materials and labor costs will go down, making this a much easier and faster project to accomplish.
Let's go to your comments here.
Patrick Lemire, will AMC laser projection vaporize people texting during movies?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Suns and Shadows. Here's a thought. How about cultivating a movie-going experience by cracking down on dumbasses on their phone, partying, letting screaming kids run around in R-rated movies, etc.?
The movie I saw last night, people were on their phones. Although since I really didn't care about the movie, it didn't bother me. I was like, maybe I should be on my phone. Guess what movie that's going to be? We'll talk later. We have a bunch of films to review. We'll get to those.
All right. Will Yum for 10. Thank you. I recently saw a Fathom event, Coraline 3D event at a local Tampa AMC, and the theater was disgusting. I'm going to Boondock Saints this weekend at another AMC. Fingers crossed it is nicer. CMX is better, in my opinion.
Hey, William, thank you for that very generous super chat. And I'll just say this. We had Troy Duffy on the show. So look up if you did not see that interview, look, it's on our interview channel archived. I am also going to see it as well. So I like the Fathom events. They have helped a lot. And I did see Coraline also, and Nightmare Before Christmas in 3D. I love the Fathom events. They really are worth it. But you have to find the theater. I go to AMC Burbank 16 and the AMC at Santa Anita Mall. And both are very good. Although I prefer Burbank. The staff is much better. The staff at Santa Anita annoy me.
Yeah, I go to the AMC Fullerton for their in-seat dining. So dinner and a movie.
One last news story before we go here.
Yeah.
Justine Bateman gives free director lessons on X. If you would bring up the story, Alan.
It's not the story, it's her feed, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, so go to her feed. In any case, I am a huge fan of her. She is very outspoken as a member of SAG. She's been standing up for artists' rights. She's very cautious about AI. She sees it coming, and she is saying the things out loud that many are afraid to say, and how AI will affect the industry. Follow Justine Bateman on Instagram. Follow her on X. I do both myself. Her wisdom and insight is really amazing. If you would bring that up, Alan.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a specific one, but let me see. Okay, so basically what Justine Bateman has been doing over the last day is she's taken these TikTok videos of people a little bit upset, a little disappointed about the results of an election recently. And she is giving directorial and cinematography advice to people to improve these videos.
So instead of commenting on them, and thank you for being ready while I was...
Well, I was looking for a specific one because she retweeted one that Stuttering Craig did, and that was the one I was looking for.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But
go ahead.
Here I'll play a little bit of...
We've got to do whatever we can.
Okay. So here we go. This is the video.
Okay. I'm sitting here on my couch eating SpongeBob mac and cheese and watching Outer Banks, and I just have a couple initial post-election.
Okay, so you kind of get it. She hates it. And then she goes on hashtag social media video critique. And then she'll critique this video. So the beginning of any video is very important, sets the entire tone of... so she's complimenting. The beginning of any film is important. It sets the tone for the rest of the film. Here we have tremendous chaos in the camera movement, setting us up to anticipate danger. At the same time, sitting on a couch eating mac and cheese and watching Outer Banks is shown to us. The dichotomy introduces a conflict between chaos and comfort and further deepens our sense of impending danger. Again, the camera is positioned too low and the ceiling is unnecessarily captured. Accent lighting at the side of her face is a nice touch. Most pronounced issue is that tough time is taken with the opening to create anticipation of danger. The piece is too short to pay that off. This is better suited for a feature film rather than a short.
So I love this. She's not even commenting on the election, the content, the substance of what this woman is saying. She's critiquing it like it's a movie and giving really insightful comments. Let me share here. I have Justine Bateman on Instagram, and she is on fire. This is the story we should you really need to discuss. Hollywood is dead, according to Justine Bateman. Here's what comes next. Bateman argues the emotional and financial scaffolding necessary to support that film business is gone. In its place, we have something of a conveyor belt, churning out, quote, content. That basically is a summation of the story. I've read it. And if you look at everything else she talks about in her feed, she's very much commenting on the moment and what's happening in cinema. As cinema is sunsetting as look, in the 20th century, cinema was the art form of the 20th century. And now we have reached a place where that is no longer true. And things like gaming, video games, I'd say that's the art form of the 21st century, which we are currently enjoying or not. But follow her on Instagram. She doesn't really, I have not noticed her taking a side politically.
Mm-hmm.
She stays very neutral, but no one is more outspoken than her.
Mm-hmm.
And she is really signing the warning of the death of this industry. And no one can argue. I'm saying the death it's premature and it may be alarmist, but no one can argue that the industry is shrinking. It's contracting. And no one is being honest about the reasons for that. And a lot of them are what she's pointing out: technology, whatnot, how things are just a content factory. When people started referring to movies as content, that was the big mistake right there. But for me, because you think of it that way, I don't think of a movie I've made as content. I think it's something I put my heart and soul into. I mean, I think for a lot of, especially indie filmmakers, a lot of love goes into film projects. So I would follow her to get the insight, but we're in for some rough times in the industry, and how we're going to change those things over the coming years. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, yeah. Let's go to comments here because we're behind on the show. Right here, starting with Supers.
King of the Wicker People for $4.99. Team Star Kid made a wicked version of Aladdin. They break the fourth wall and drop F-bombs. It's super funny and heartfelt. Check it out for free on YouTube. Team Star Kid. Caveat ties, member for 5 months. Yo moved here, Rumble. Not working for me. Okay. Okay. Patrick Lemire. So many of those spontaneous meltdown videos look like third or fourth takes. Yeah, she comments on one of the video that felt like a third take, and the authenticity just kind of went away because of that. Davina Duckworth. Cinema is still magic. A current regime in Hollywood is to blame for the form's decline.
100%. Focusing on IP and sequels and prequels and requels.
Wait till we talk about this one.
We'll get to it. That's our next thing. So it's time for our main topic, and we do have films to review. We've got a filmmaker interview, so let's get to that. But first, Alan, you're gonna have to vamp for me while I use the
latrine
as a toy. I'm a toy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
So when you prep for the show and you suggest all these stories, do you pre-read them in advance?
Well, again,
this is a list of things that
this story came out at the last minute.
All right, we'll talk about this on Friday. Next story.
Are you answering an email?
Yeah, because that's all I fucking do.
Yes, but I believe that email has been resolved.
I believe it has.
I believe it has been resolved and should not be affecting the show right now.
I also know how hard Alan works.
Let's get to your comments. ADLS24. Frank has a creative crush on Justine Bateman. Does he? Yeah, he does. Joke Chapman. Need to encourage teens to stop into watching good films, teach them storyboarding, make shorts, have fun, bring the love of it back. Yeah, I tell you, been trying to do that with my daughter. I feel like I'm failing at the moment. She slept through a certain movie. That's right. What's up with Chris's hair today? What's up with your hair?
I just literally woke up, got coffee, and I'm here. And of course, the urinator strikes again, says Chelsea M. That is true. Chelsea M, I am busted. Busted. Okay. It's our main topic for today. Alan, you saw Gladiator 2.
Yeah, let me
This is your early reaction. I'm dying to hear. what you have to say. Tell me about Gladiator 2.
Okay, let me grab the poster.
Okay, so should I do that intro again?
Yeah, why don't you do that while I get the poster ready?
Pretend I didn't talk the last 2 minutes.
Glenn.
We're professional. Oh my God. Hey, Alan, I heard you saw an early screening of Gladiator 2. Can you tell me all about it?
Sure. I can only give you a social comment about this, or social reaction, because the embargo doesn't lift until Monday. But yes, I saw Gladiator 2. I took the child with me, my daughter, because it was at the Grove, and she loves the Grove. And she fell asleep.
Wait a second. Can you tell me where you parked and what did you eat?
Yes. So I parked on the 6th level, right next to the elevator.
I don't care about that. Tell me about the movie. I don't need all this content. I want to know about this film. You're driving me crazy.
All right. First of all, I think this poster says it all. What this movie is. Here's the thing. I'll just say. First one, best picture, Academy Award winning best picture. You would think you would follow it up with an equally exciting and beautiful best picture, and this one just seems to fall very short of that. I'll say this: it's half a movie, meaning we blaze through this story, and it's still 2 hours and 10 minutes long, and it's got everything expected to be, the CG gladiator fights and things like that. But I will say this, there are certain reveals which you probably could guess, but I can't tell you anything about it. And I will say that it relies on flashbacks of the first movie to build sympathy for characters. Let's just say that.
Okay.
A lot of the characters, again, you have to be reminded of the past in order to understand why you need to sympathize for these characters. And that's exactly what happens here. I think this falls very short from the first film. And I will say this, I think CG is killing Hollywood. Let's just put it that way. I made this statement a while ago, and I'm going to stand by it. But the best CG movie ever is Jurassic Park, and ironically, that's the first CG movie ever made. I don't feel like when you watch the CG in this movie, it feels like CG, especially you have these computer generated backgrounds, and then you have the live action stuff moved into it. Why do matte paintings feel more realistic than CG?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then there are, of course we have, your animal attacks. And of course they're not using real animals. And I'll just leave it at that.
Is it better than RRR?
As cartoonish as it looked like in RRR, it was still more fun in RRR.
Right.
And I will say that there are 2 big stars in this movie. And I won't point out who they are because in fear of doing an actual review, but it feels like those stars are in the movie, meaning they're themselves. They're playing themselves in the movie.
Could it be Denzel Washington? I love Denzel. I mean, I've loved him he's in bad movies. I love him in the movie.
Yeah, I think you're gonna. I think it's like he runs out of steam near the end. Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal.
He'll be a great Reed Richards.
Yes,
we'll see.
Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty much all I can say until we actually review the movie. I can't tell you the plot there. And again, look at this uninspiring poster. Yeah,
the poster is pretty much like generic. It looks like something you'd see at AFM. By the way, I'm at the American Film Market. Yeah. I'll find it. I'll find the poster. There is a movie being sold here at the market called Gladiators that looks just like this poster. I'm not joking, which would have been a better title than Gladiator 2. I think when you add a 2, it's lazy. Yeah. It should be, blank, the brand and then another title.
Right.
Like Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Great. Love it. Right?
And
Give me a title. When you add a 2, it's lazy. It's lazy. So, but Gladiators would be more inspired. And that's here at AFM.
Yeah, I bet it stars Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's in a million movies.
But the thing is, we talked about, seeing the film title or hearing the film title in the movie. One guy says, "Hey, I'm a gladiator too."
Is that in the movie?
No, it's not in the movie, but it would be, and it would have made the experience more enjoyable had it happened.
So basically, your reaction is mixed. I've heard very positive from others who've seen it.
I can't say, the first one is so great, and to follow it with this is a letdown. Well,
I'll say, how is the score? I love the music from Gladiator.
Score's fine. It's not Hans Zimmer, though. In fact, when I went to the Hans Zimmer concert in LA, I was sitting near the composer of Gladiator 2. It's okay. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Well, I didn't know it until Hans Zimmer says, "Oh, hey, I couldn't do Gladiator 2, but the composer is here. He's a good friend of mine. Stand up." And he was right next to me.
He was next to you?
Next to me. I didn't know who he was. And then they played Hans Zimmer's score from
Okay.
Gladiator.
Set aside your review, and we will do your review next week. How do you think audiences will respond?
I don't think they'll respond well. I think it'll win the weekend, but it's not going to be the juggernaut that it should be. And I can tell you, I can tell you, I was sitting next to John and Jeffrey, and we all had the same reactions to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed, is what you're saying.
It's mixed. Yeah. I'm disappointed in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I'm bummed to hear that, because I do respect your opinion. And I was first, I thought, we don't need this movie. And then the more I saw, I kind of started to like it. And also the popcorn bucket.
Is there one?
There is a Gladiator 2 popcorn bucket. I'm going to show it to everybody here, because you need to know that this exists. There is a popcorn bucket, and it does something really cool. So the popcorn bucket is a Coliseum. Let me see. I've got images here. Let me find it. Is it already on eBay? This is crazy. Okay, I found the graphic here. Okay, this is cool. I'm gonna share this with you here so you can see it.
Oh,
yeah, you're looking at it. You found it.
Yeah, I am looking at
it on eBay for $100 right now. But check this out. It's okay. This is a different one. This is one of the popcorn buckets.
Oh, that's not the one I saw.
So the other one is a Coliseum.
Yeah, that's the one.
What it does is when you point your
thumb up or down.
No. When you point it does one of those augmented reality type of experiences.
Yeah, when you point your phone at it with your AR.
When you point your phone at it, it does like gladiator battles in the bucket on your phone. Like AR, augmented reality.
Who's doing that one? That's Cinemark.
That's
Cinemark, which means it's gone already.
Yeah, exactly. So there are 3 different, who would have thought 3 different popcorn buckets. I look, I don't know. This is pretty awesome to be. Here, let me share what I found here.
You could buy it online.
Yeah, so you've got the one that's a helmet. You've got the one that's the Coliseum. You've got this is crazy. The variety is kind of nuts, but they're already on eBay going for from 50 to 100.
Okay, I'm ordering mine right now.
How, where?
On cinemarkshop.com. Shopcinemark.com.
Well, there you go. Let me see. We've got an image here that I can show a better shot of it here. Let's see. Yeah, we've got pictures here. Look, which is kind of sad now. I feel more excited about the popcorn bucket than I do about the movie now.
Okay, I just ordered mine.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
My God. Here, let me show you the
it's $32 with shipping.
You need to see how this augmented reality works. I'll show it to you. I found it. Okay, thank you, Atomic Glory. Here we go. This is the version of the bucket. This is AMC. Okay, so you get the bucket, you look in it and see the little with the people in the Coliseum fighting. That's on your phone in augmented reality. That's the bucket you want. Right?
Yeah, and I believe it's the same one that's at Cinemark. So you could actually order.
What am I doing? Back to this. Back to that.
All right.
There we go. Look, the fact that why'd you get the bucket then if you weren't excited about the movie?
Well, it was $23 until I found out how much shipping was going to be.
Yeah, and then it's what, another 30? Just buy it at the theater. Just buy it at the theater.
Oh, we've had this conversation about finding these buckets at theaters. You know, maybe when you show up, it'll be there, or maybe they would have sold them out 2 weeks earlier.
We have a whole forum on our film thread where we all chat amongst each other. It's all about buckets. Yeah. We have a bucket. It's called Popcorn Bucket Posse. So, all right, let's go to your comments here. Starting from the top, we'll go with Supers first. Okay, Alan?
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go. Andrew Cram for 5. Sounds like Gladiator 2 sounds like Gladiator 2 sounds like needs to do more homework.
Sounds like Gladiator 2 sounds like need to do homework.
Nick Gore for 2. Asian representation in Gladiator DOS. I did not see an Asian.
Dos. Dos.
Okay.
In Spanish.
William for 2. The best Gladiator was with Brian Dennehy in 1992.
Nice.
I wouldn't doubt that. Pilgrim Media for 2. No more Pedro for 5 years for me. Pedro's in everything. Just accept that. Oliver Lavery Frog for 5 British pounds. I watched the first one again recently, and I don't know how you can capture the magic again without Reed, Crow, and Phoenix. The performances are amazing.
I agree with you.
I'll tell you, I blame wokeness because wokeness causes you to hold back, and this movie felt like it was holding back. The idea that I'm going to make a movie, but there's certain things you can't do in that movie because you might offend people. That's holding back, and that means you can't make the movie you want to make, and you're making a lesser film at that point.
Yeah. And let's see more comments here. They're coming in fast and furious. I'll start from the top.
Okay. Oliver Lavery Frog. What did Alan eat? The people need to know. Paramount was kind enough to give us popcorn and a drink. That's what we ate. Lord Comet. Yeah, this looks like a Disney Plus title. I was wondering that. I'm like, is this a Disney movie or is it a Fox? No, it's Paramount. And it feels like a Disney Fox movie.
Oh man.
You're gonna get Alien vibes, I think, from this one. Alien Romulus.
Oh really? Like Greatest Hits.
Yeah. ADL's 24. I've heard Ridley once again has a crazy director's cut in the can, and the plan is ready for a part 3. We'll see. I might be wrong. I'll throw that out there. Barosaurus Rex calling it Just Gladiator 2 makes it seem like a straight to streaming knockoff film.
Precisely.
Andrew Cram for 5. The story about the fall of Rome from their perspective would have been interesting. We'll talk about that when we can formally review the film. Corky's chilling. Does Denzel in the movie say Rome ain't got nothing on me? Fresh Snow, 2000s power shot, 2000s Photoshop poster. Look, I can say that. The Mime from Hell. Any rap music in it, Alan? No. They except for the bodies. When the bodies hit the floor, there's just normal music in it. Bill S. Preston Esquire. Pluralizing the title has been overdone. Give it a subtitle like Gladiator: Denzel's Revenge.
I would like that. I would like it.
Yeah. ADLS24. It's a dope popcorn bucket. Yep, that's why I bought it.
It's a great popcorn bucket. I probably plan to get it.
I would buy it online so you can guarantee to get it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We do have more films to review. And I will start that one because I don't think you've seen any of these, Alan. Have you?
I've seen I saw My Dead Friend Zoe. And
let me review a film you haven't seen.
I've only seen one of the films.
Okay. Can you get put the poster up?
Yeah.
Let's reset. While you're resetting.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out. She
has a chance.
Yeah. I say that Kamala Harris still has a path to the presidency.
Yeah, path to 270.
If Joe Biden resigns, that's her path. You seem off today, Alan. And I'm in Vegas. I mean, I'm tired, but I'm not, I didn't go tie one on. I'm just, Alan, you are my density. You're not going to say anything?
Yeah, I wish I was the one dying.
Why do you do this to me?
I don't know.
Why do you do this to me?
Hey, let's talk about Juror number 2.
Yeah, Juror number 2 is presumably the last film from Clint Eastwood, unfortunately. Clint Eastwood has had a storied career, and his directing chops of late have been not quite sure. But this film, which stars Nicholas Hoult as a man in recovery, he's a recovering alcoholic who cleaned up his life, met a woman that he loves, and he is going to be a proud father very soon. He gets picked as a juror to be on this case, and his wife is due in a few weeks. He really does not want to be involved in a high-profile trial, but unfortunately he is, while his wife is, in the last stages of her pregnancy. So Justine Kemp is the character that Nicholas Hoult plays. J.K. Simmons is also one of the members of the jury. Chris Messina plays a public defender. And Kiefer Sutherland is Kemp's AA friend, consul. Toni Collette plays a prosecutor in a high-profile murder case. Yes, a young couple at a bar get in a fight. She walks away and he drives off, and suddenly her body the next day is found dead in a creek by a bridge. So Nicholas Hoult, his character Justine Kemp, is on this. So that's the setup. Murder trial, high profile. On social media, they were in love, but in a fit of passion, right? It's presumed he killed his girlfriend. But Nicholas Hoult's character, Justin, as he's seeing the details of the case, he has a vague memory of driving about a year ago and hitting a deer, but it might not have been a deer. Did he accidentally kill this woman? Is the man that is on trial actually innocent? And Justin is now watching as the evidence comes out. Could he have been the one who killed this girl? And that's where this turns into, it's a really good trial story. And I'll say it kind of has shades of Hitchcock, a man that is being pursued. It's got that Hitchcock vibe.
Yeah.
So first half of the movie, I'm all in. I mean, it's really good thriller. It's Nicholas Hoult I've always loved. He plays Lex Luthor in the upcoming Superman. He is, of course, in the Mad Max Fury Road. Witness. He's in a new movie as a white supremacist called The Order, opening in December, which I have also seen. And he's always been just an amazing actor. Beast, of course, in X-Men.
Hank McCoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love Nicholas Hoult as an actor. And he does his best with the script in this. So while it aspires to be this Hitchcockian, a man trapped, questioning himself, stuck on a jury, the second half of the movie, which of course I won't say anything about, kind of falls apart. And it really does feel like a very traditional police procedural, a TV. This is a streaming movie that happened to get a very limited theatrical release. Now the budget for this was low, 35 million. So it's by studio standards, it's a low budget movie with an undercooked script. But my God, that first half of the film, where it has that Hitchcock feel, really good. But in the end, felt very, and then the very ending is not satisfying. That's all I'll say. But solid cast, solid setup for a story, weak script in the end, and there's really no discernible directing flair. Like I said, this is a TV movie procedural with very good actors, a solid concept with a script that doesn't pay off in the end. So gets a I can't really recommend it, but if you like this type of movie, the Jury itself, like I saw it in a theater in the afternoon, people were laughing. Some lines in the script were just dumb. But it started off so good, but ultimately disappoints. So I can't recommend it. So I would have given it a bare recommend if it stuck the landing. It did not. So Clint Eastwood's final film is a dud.
I mean, it's like if you're saying that the first half is a Hitchcock movie, then they should have made the second half a Hitchcock movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Am I right?
The way you're describing it is very Hitchcockian, but you need a bizarre ending. The only way Hitchcock could do it. And we talked also before about Warner Brothers burying this film. I mean, it's only playing in Burbank right now, so I can't even see it unless I head up to your area.
Let's go to comments here.
Professor Fear, Alan has been replaced by an exact replica. Mike MC Wong, hey Mike. Juror number 2 is not bad, a bit long and slightly boring. Acting was good.
Acting was good? Very good.
Okay. Rover IAC. Got it. I haven't seen Juror number 1 yet. What do you think the sequel to Juror number 2 the title will be?
There won't be one.
Juror number 2 too. Professor Fear, is the deer still alive and seeking revenge?
No. Nope.
And
there you go.
All right.
Let's pivot now. Let's pivot. What is this? I can't, because these aren't labeled, I can't see what these are. Alan, you gotta okay, that's not that.
Yeah, if I had time. I was
label.
busting my ass all morning because I
Here's what will help me. Label the names. Just name it real quick. Then I'll just see it.
You know how
I can't
hard it
open
is to
the
get
picture
pictures?
every time. Yeah, it's called show prep. How do you think I line up the interviews and do all this other stuff?
Yeah. And I do nothing. I have a website to run.
I'm not
You know
saying
how-
nothing. I'm not saying you do nothing. I'm saying
right.
help us. I'm trying to help us. See, in the end, we always make up. That's not the post. I need elevation.
Okay. Well, if I knew.
There we go. All right. So last night I saw Elevation. There was no pre-screening for this movie, by the way. It was not pre-screened for critics. I went and paid to see Elevation, which is a movie that you could compare it to A Quiet Place in the sense that humanity has been wiped out. 95% of the world's population is wiped out as creatures, these hulking creatures that oddly enough kind of look like the CG creatures from A Quiet Place, are roaming the earth, killing everything. They are killing humans only, but they stop. There's a barrier when they get to 8,000 feet. So anything below 8,000 feet is prone to being murdered. Everything above 8,000 feet, that is, you are safe. So populations and pockets of humans are living above 8,000 feet have found a way to survive. There are all these different communities, and Anthony Mackie is the lead in this. He is the father to a young son who has a medical issue. He needs medical supplies to survive. So he must go on a journey below 8,000 feet to get more medical supplies to help save his son. So Anthony Mackie, I don't remember the names of the characters. So he's the lead character. Morena Baccarin from the Deadpool movies. She plays a scientist who lost her entire family. She is trying to find a way to dispense with these creatures. Maddie Hassan plays another young woman who lives in the community, and they go off with guns to find a pathway, staying below 8,000 feet for as little time as possible so they can get the medical supplies they need to save Anthony Mackie's son in this small community. There are other communities all, above 8,000 feet. They stay in touch with flags. These flags, they communicate with each other, and technology is gone. They have to use candles, and it's what they can scavenge is all they have. So they go on this journey trying to stay above 8,000 feet. There's an action sequence where they're evading the trio is evading the creatures, where they're on a ski lift, which was pretty cool. But it's a 90-minute, very predictable sci-fi story that is influenced by other sci-fi movies that I thought were better movies, like A Quiet Place, including the most recent Quiet Place with Lupita Nyong'o, which I thought was very good. So this doesn't reach the heights of any of those movies. It was produced by Anthony Mackie, and I've always liked him as an actor. As Falcon, he's great. As Cap, remains to be seen. But I like him. I've always liked him in the role as Falcon. He's turned up in other movies where I really like him. He does have the charm. The cast is what carries it. Anthony Mackie, Morena Baccarin, and Maddie Hassan. Although I'll say this, the two women, Morena and Maddie, just act like dudes. I feel like the script was written with all male cast, and they changed it. There's a scene where Morena gets mad at Maddie. They punch each other in the face. I've never seen girls fight like that. I've seen girls fight in real life. I've seen TikTok videos of women fighting. They were fighting like men. It was very strange. And then they had very human moments where they're bawling their eyes out. I feel that this is like, and the thing is this, I'm not going to give away the ending, but it feels like they're setting this up to be a franchise, and there is a mid credit sequence, but this is derivative of better movies. I thought the story was very weak, and the creatures look CG. As you pointed out earlier, the first CG we saw in a movie that was used to make dinosaurs, Jurassic Park, the best. And it's like, it hasn't gotten better since that. What made that so great? And now CG in movies today is just, I feel like the standards that were set, it's when it's really good. In this, it looks CG. It really looks CG. So this is a bare recommend for this if you're looking. I mean, the one thing that saved it for me, the running time. Because it was 90 minutes, it didn't overstay its welcome. It wasn't boring. The action sequences were legit, tense, but I was never scared because the creatures look so CG. It's like a Sci-Fi Channel movie with good actors, with actors I like. I in particular, Anthony Mackie. But so a bare recommend, probably a 5 or 6 out of 10 for me. But it is in theaters. Without a lot of fanfare. I've barely seen any ads. I didn't even see the trailer very much, but
I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer in other movies.
The trailer is as advertised, but again, being so short, it doesn't overstay its welcome. The action sequence, including in particular, there's one in a tunnel and there's one on a ski lift. Those are really good, but all in all, it's and it does world building to present. Like I did like that they didn't completely explain the creatures. There were theories, but no explanation. And there was a tease at the end about what they might be, and that was cool. But then the movie just ends and kind of sets up the sequel. So bare recommend and a low recommendation, but it's a good distraction, 90-minute sci-fi that honestly, I can't say I didn't have a good time. Did have a good time. Just, very derivative is probably the weakest part. Let's go to your comments here.
Well, I'm just saying, I think I am feeling tired of this genre of film. I think Arcadian, as much as I liked Arcadian, it still felt derivative of A Quiet Place, which I assume you could claim that it's a derivative of Alien if we go all the way back. I'm getting tired of it. And that's kind of how I felt about watching the trailer for this one. I've seen this before. And we're not doing anything necessarily to elevate or upgrade the genre in any way. We're just telling you same story, different way. All right. Red French Moon for 2. Bring back practical effects and more and squibs. I mean, I feel like isn't practical cheaper? Am I wrong on that than CG? Thomas Pickett for 2. Generic creatures. We need another Stan Winston. There we go. Chelsea M. Does Anthony Mackie redeem himself in this? You like him in this?
I like him in this. Yeah, he's a father trying to save his son. Mm-hmm. He's a good protagonist. And by the way, there's nothing woke about this. It's all straight up sci-fi. The only thing might be the two women are I thought they were portrayed
as men.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, it's me in HD. That poster screams straight to VOD. Yeah. Thomas Pickett, how could creators come from space but couldn't survive high altitude? I think
they do. Okay, I'll say this. They do explain the creatures, but the mystery of the why of the creatures isn't answered. It's teased.
Is it about pressure, air pressure, or is it about?
No, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Sometimes, like with Juror, I give away too much. I tell you up until the point where I don't want to ruin it.
Well, it just seems like if it's a certain elevation, that it would be a simple answer, but apparently it's not. From C, Captain Elevation America.
That's exactly right. Let's review another. We have a oh God, I could do a quick review of this movie.
Okay. Chris, tell us about Stockholm Bloodbath.
Stockholm Bloodbath is from director Mikael Hofstrom, and it's about a power-hungry Danish king who will stop at nothing to take over the Swedish crown from Sten Sture. And the protagonists are two sisters, Freya and Anne, and they vow to take merciless revenge on the men who brutally murdered their family. This is the synopsis of this film, Stockholm Bloodbath, which is a weird action movie set in sort of medieval Camelot-ish times in Sweden. It's a very Swedish action movie. These two sisters use bow and arrows, kind of Hunger Games style, with Katniss to take out these men. It is a mixed bag all over the place, introducing a whole bunch of characters that you can't keep track of, because they do this thing that they do in like exploitation movies where they freeze frame on a character, they give you their name, and then here's the description of what this character's attributes are, almost like a video game. This movie is a mess. The tone is all over the place. At times, it seems epic. There's sweeping shots of armies approaching castles, and it's like, oh, this is big budget. Look at these effects. That's the money shot. And then that's mixed with super cheap on-set action that is completely forgettable. I was hoping for like kind of a fun action movie. I'm down with like a dumb tone of this. It seems like this is based on some either Swedish legend or part history, whatever. I don't know, but it seems very Swedish, even though it's all in English, right? And it's very female driven, with Anne and Freya killing people. And there are some sort of clever kills. You know, that was clever. Oh, that's kind of cool. But all in all, this film is a big mess. It's a pass for me. I know it's in theaters, but it just didn't hold together, and at times even got boring. It's nearly 2 hours, and just I'm probably a 4 out of 10 if I had to give it a rating. And it's just derivative. There's like, is it fun or is it gross? Like, it could. The problem with this movie is, I mean, even you see the poster is what made me want to see this. For Carnage and Glory. And then they use the font, the Star Trek font from the 60s for Stockholm Bloodbath. So it wants to be this exploitation Guy Ritchie inspired like action film, and falls short on every level. And it wavers from, whoa, this is really epic, to, ooh, that was bad effects. It didn't know what it wanted to be, but it's like 99-cent store Guy Ritchie is what this film is. So there you go.
You probably said it, but what era is this in?
I don't remember. I mean, maybe it was in, but it's clearly like a medieval era, whatever that is, or medieval to Renaissance, kind of in between.
Because again, like you say, the poster, even in that, it's all over the place. You don't exactly know.
Is it present day? It's not. It's not present day.
Yeah.
And in fact, it may be based on real history.
Okay. So go see Mad Heidi. Don't see this one.
Mad Heidi was the better version.
Yeah.
For sure. The better version. So yeah, unfortunately, this is a pass for me. 4 out of 10 at best.
Right.
Let's go to comments here.
From Heartbreak Ridge, remember for 3 months. Before the 10th anniversary showing of John Wick, saw a promo short for Ballerina that bragged about all its real fights and practical effects. Cheers.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hallmarks of John Wick is practical. Although, a bulletproof suit. Let's just say that. Sons and Shadows, is there a bikini team in this movie? Please say yes.
No.
Hey, it's me and HD. Any Swedish crunchy bush?
Unfortunately, no.
Is there any nudity in this movie?
No.
Oh, okay. Davida Duckworth, the Stockholm Bloodbath was a trial that led to a series of executions in Stockholm between 7 and 9 November 1520. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So it's in the past. Andrew Cram, as a Swede, I am not impressed.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, it's Guy Ritchie. That's what they're
Mhm.
trying. That's what it aspires to be.
Was there a rock soundtrack behind all the action scenes?
Soundtrack did not stand out. Wasn't memorable.
Okay, it wasn't pop music put to
Nope.
action. Okay.
Nope. Hey, let's review this film. It's a movie we've both seen.
Yes.
And we do have our interview subject. We'll be here very soon.
Okay. This one has a very uninspiring poster.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the movie is better than the poster, but tell us about My Dead Friend Zoe. This is not a zombie movie, by the way. Not a horror film.
Okay. So this movie basically stars Sonequa Martin Green, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, and Natalie Morales. Sonequa plays a veteran, an Afghanistan veteran, who today is struggling through life. She's currently attending court-ordered support groups for veterans, of which she refuses to participate in. She just sits there and shuts up. And the person leading it, the support group, is Morgan Freeman. And he basically tells her that unless she starts talking, he can't sign off for the court, and that she'll wind up in jail if she doesn't participate in the group. So her refusal to participate leads to a phone call she gets from her mother, and that her grandfather, the grandmother recently died. Grandfather's left alone on this farm in the middle of nowhere. Sonequa's is supposed to go out and take care of the grandfather and subversively sell the farm from underneath him. So this film is basically about veterans, PTSD and veterans. The My Dead Friend Zoe, every so often, Zoe will show up as a kind of a ghost, and they'll have a conversation. And it's just this constant reminder of the friendship that the two characters have, and a reminder and builds up to what happened. Why is Zoe no longer with us? And of course, that kind of leads into the overall story. Ed Harris plays the grandfather. He is a very proud veteran, and he is very disappointed in his granddaughter because she followed in his footsteps, and he feels like that she has not lived up to his standards. And so it's just basically this. There's two things. There's this family dynamic that's going on that's very powerful, and then there's also, of course, the story about how veterans are treated today. And you know, the story of Zoe and how she died will catch you off guard because you think it's going one way, it goes a different way, and then brings up a whole other situation that veterans face in battle. And so this is from Legion M. So it's they tend to they may not make the greatest blockbuster movies ever, but they make very powerful and poignant films.
They make indie movies. They make
indie movies.
They did.
Right, but
Mandy.
to that point, My Dead Friend Zoe is a powerful film, and I highly recommend it.
I agree. It really snuck up on me, and also Ed Harris is in this film, and plays her grandfather, and are they going to put him in a home? You know, so she has to deal with that. Morgan Freeman is in it as well as kind of a mentor figure. It really did creep up on me. The ending is kind of a twist that we won't get into, but it is about PTSD. It is about veterans and how they have to deal with it. And I was moved by it. It's very respectful to people who have served in the military. So I really enjoyed the film. We saw it at the Newport Beach Film Festival, and I really enjoy it. It's coming out soon. I want to say February next year in theaters. So check it out. But this is an early review and want to get the word out that it's a film worth seeing. And in particular, I like to support any film that really supports our fellow Americans in the military is one I want to point out. And this one does a great job of that. A side we don't normally see, which is dealing with PTSD and the effects of being a survivor of conflict. So strong recommend from me.
Yeah. And there's this ghost gimmick where she speaks to Zoe all the time, Natalie Morales, and I think it works. It could have certainly gone off the rails, and it doesn't. So definitely a high recommendation, especially as Bill S. Preston, Esquire, says, Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day in the U.S. and Remembrance Day in the U.K. and Commonwealth nations. So
great. Let's go to more comments. Thank you, Bill.
All right. From Waldo, as an Iraq veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps, I look forward to this.
Yeah, there were people who served at the screening, and this is just, you don't see a movie like this. You don't see it portrayed this way. And what I like is we get inside the head of the people who've survived and how they see the world now and how it affects everything.
Yeah. Nerd Far Away, since the plot sounds way better than the poster looks.
No, the poster is temp. This movie isn't out yet. So
the poster is very far off from the actual movie.
Yeah, it is temp.
Yeah, Darth Yeager. It's on the festival circuit. Let's just say that. Darth Yeager, respectfully to the military and veterans, I'm in.
Right. All right. We have our interview subject. Anthony Repinski is joining us momentarily. He has to turn his camera on. Here, we're going to talk about his film. Here, Alan. Wait, set this up, Alan. Alan.
Hold on. I'll find it. There you go. No, you want.
What?
What? Aren't you going to set it up for the video?
Yes. Okay. Let's talk to writer-director Anthony Repinski and his movie Heather, which is now available to see. He's here. Let's talk to him. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good to see you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Tell us about your movie Heather.
Well, let's see. I kind of first of all, I apologize. Like 2 days ago, I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. It's like the right side of my face is now paralyzed. But it should go away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, not gonna have a good thing. So I can't smile. So it's all on the inside. If I do smile, I look like a drunk pirate. It's horrible. Yeah.
It's all good.
So yeah, no, the film I kind of tag it as a Romeo and Juliet on crack. It's a thriller. It's a wild ride. It's a fast movie that just once it starts, it just goes to the end. Bam, bam, bam. Go ahead.
And it's what is, tell us a bit of the story.
It really deals with a lot of karma. Things from your past coming back to haunt you, things you've done, people you've hurt, how it's affected people's lives. And it sort of has that kind of like that Fargo thing to it where, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse, out of control, until it just culminates to just disaster. But, I kind of look at it also as truly it's a kind of a hidden love story in a sense, a three-ring triangle love story between people, just not even realizing it at first. But yeah, a lot of craziness there.
Let's look at the trailer for the film. I've got it up here, and we'll talk on the other side. It's only a minute, folks. Let's get a taste of Heather. Here we go.
One pain is lessened by another's anguish.
You only do private sessions, or can I book you for parties?
Do you know why men go to a dominatrix? wife, the kids, stress at work. We've already gone through that.
So it's a romance.
It's a romance. It truly is.
You had me at dominatrix. There you go. I think that's. But what
There's a
goes
world.
into putting together a film like this?
As in what goes into it, like from start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, first this is a low budget film in a sense. We didn't do it for that much money, so there's a lot of preparation in trying to give that cinematic value with not having that kind of money. And so a lot of stuff you kind of play around with, with certain kind of effects and certain kind of looks. But we filmed all this on a soundstage actually. Got a hookup there, tested it out. So I don't even think we even paid for the soundstage actually. There's a new one, so that kind of helped us out there. But it's a very filming something like this. You only got limited time. With kind of budget restraints you have, so you got like not even 3 weeks to film everything. And we're shooting like I don't know 10 pages a day, which is insane. But the actors were great, and I think that kind of added to the value because of the exhaustion everybody was feeling, even the actors. So when you get to the actual filming portion of it, it was very easy for them to get into character because the characters themselves play very exhausting characters throughout. I mean, like I said, it is a very much a wild ride.
When you cast actors for this or actors try out for a role in this type of movie, are they made aware that the content may be sensitive?
Oh, yeah. No, they're fully aware.
Can I ask you? I want to ask about the transition from you being a stunt person to getting into writing and directing. How did that come about?
Well, I've always been writing is my passion. So I've always been a writer. I joined the military when I was 17. Had a whole career in the military. After that, but I still go back to my writing. And so when I got out of the military, somebody just come up to me and was like, "Hey, this, guns, cars, and I could use you on set to help out." And that kind of gets into that realm of being on set and see how it works. And then the idea was, I've got all this written work, and could I do something with it? So then I decided, instead of just faking it, I'm gonna actually go to film school. Go to film school. Go to screenwriting, try to transcribe all these like novellas and novel style writing that I have into screenplays, and being on set or even going through filmmaking at the time, I had a liking to it because it really felt like the time in the military of just managing people. So I ended up really liking it. So that's really how I got into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it here. You're in John Wick. You're in Logan. What? I guess I'm curious. What is it about being a stunt person that you can carry into directing? What were the advantages you found as being on set as a stunt person for directing?
Well, I mean, just the experience. I mean, you get to know all the different positions on a set. You don't come in blind now as a filmmaker, not knowing, because those are big budget films, and you see those, and you're like, okay, that'd be nice to have all of that. I'm gonna do this on a low budget, but now I've seen how the professionals done it. I've seen how they operate. I'm not gonna get that same kind of quality or that same kind of the amount of resources of that, but at least it gives you all that good experience on how sets are done in real time. So doing a lot of stunts, that does transition into this, and the film itself had quite a few stunts in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very helpful in that sense. So I know exactly what I'm looking for in that. So that was very helpful, and just knocking out some of these stair falls and stunts of that nature.
Yeah, and then I have to ask you about Sean Young. She's in your film. I've actually seen a few shorts recently with her in it, And what's it like working with her? And what's it like working with her?
She's a pleasure. She's a professional in every regard, So she was very easy on set, and it was a quick set with her, outside, cold, miserable, trying to pretend like it's July, so not really wearing much, and always ready to go, always ready to go. You can see the difference, sometimes in actors. She had a long career as an actor, and it really did show on set. Just knowing exactly like what her best angles were, the things that she needed, and she just pushed through. It was very easy.
Anthony, we have over 1,000 people watching live. They've got questions. Can we go to questions from our chat and comments?
And by the way, you got my name spelled wrong there. There's an I at the end, not a Y.
Oh, is there?
Oh, there is.
Alan,
I'll fix it.
BMO Better says karma is a good theme. Davina
Always.
Duckworth says that escalated quickly. Lord Comment for 2 says, how did you get the budget for this film?
How did I get the budget? Beg and borrow. No, it was it like a lot of my written work. I don't really shop it out there myself. People get a hold of it. This one in particular, when this one person read it, they realized, hey, just the limited locations, limited actors, this could be done on a very low budget. And it was like, I'm in. And so it wasn't really that hard securing the fundings for it, because they knew it could stay within that low budget realm.
Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Sir Anthony. Sorry about what happened to you. Hope you have a quick recovery. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Yeah, go to film school. It's one of those things where, it's like you have to enjoy it. And I remember telling myself initially, it was if I don't enjoy this within the first few weeks, I'm out. Like you can't really fake it. You have to. It has to really be a part of you. And you have to have like a wealth, and I always feel like you have to have a wealth of knowledge in film in general, like classic films, all kinds of films. And one of the main things that I try to do on set is know everybody's position. So I've worked as a gaffer, a grip, a digital effects artist, an editor, a producer, a first AD. I worked all those positions, a sound technician, a boom operator, just to know everybody's role. And so I always feel like when people start getting to filmmaking, it behooves you to really know that, because it's only going to help you along the way. When you get on set and you start managing all this stuff, you know what everybody needs, and that's going to speed everything up.
A. Dellis 24 asks, what lessons have you learned with studio directors you've collaborated with in the past?
I think he's talking about with like stunt stuff, right?
Yeah.
With that, it's you don't see. I mean, I have not spoken to too many studio directors, to be honest. Even in stunts, once in a while, the director will actually come to me and ask my opinion or help and try to adjust a scene. But when it comes to studio films, I've only done that in the realm of stunt work. So it's with the coordinator a lot of times. So I don't really get too much, face-to-face time with directors, with big studio directors at all.
And then ADLS 24 says, how long had this idea been stewing in your head? How long from script to production was the timeline?
Script to production was let's see. It came to me around 2015, right? So it was like 5 or 6 years of just kind of brewing in my head, just sitting on the shelf. I wrote it in a month, probably a month, as I wrote the first draft, and then just sat on a shelf with everything else until people started to read some of my work, and it came out. But it all started from an actual true story that was told to me from someone at a bar, and I just sat there just completely amazed that this actually went on. And I was like, oh, and I went home and I was like, oh, I got to start writing this stuff down. I'm not gonna make it the true story that they said. I'm gonna do a little bit different, but it was inspired by an actual real event.
Owen Knight for €5 or £5 says, I have a question I've always wanted to have answered. How does someone without an agent get their script noticed in the film industry these days?
just throw it all over the streets and everybody's desk and just throw it out there. No, that's not going to work. No, it's actually these days I have no idea how it works anymore. Ever since the streaming platforms, like spec scripts just don't seem to get read anymore. They're coming from other content like books for making new stuff. It seems to be really hard. Getting agents as well. I mean, I have a manager. I don't have an agent who takes care of this kind of stuff. But as far as I know, it's not an easy thing to do. It's just connections, really.
Nerd Far Away asks, "Hail, Mr. Repinski. I'm impressed by your resilience. What kind of story would you like to write next?"
So right now I'm finishing up a novel actually. It should be done within this year. The Braided Tree. It's a mystery novel. I sort of always stick with horror, mystery, and thriller are my genres of choice. Mystery nowadays seems to be on the top of my list. But that's what's next is a book. Before I do another movie, I want to knock out and publish this book, and then hopefully turn this book into a TV show or a movie.
Razorburn asks, "Anthony, what was it like to work with Hugh Jackman?"
Great. No, he's awesome. He's one of those actors that takes the time to know everybody's name, what they do. Doing stunts with him on Logan was great. I think he punched me in the face for real. Actually, on one of the stunts, going all in and not realizing no, you can't do that. It's the claws that got to kill me, not your actual fist. But he goes all out. Which is great to see, and he's always amazing. And it's a pleasure just to see how interactive he is with everybody else. He takes his time with everybody on set, and like I said, he'll get to know everybody's first name. And so I come into set, he's just like, "Anthony, let's go." I'm like, "All right."
I've always heard raves about Hugh Jackman, that he is that's why he works so much. I gotta say, he's just a straight up nice guy
and professional. Yeah.
And final question here, Benito Salazar says, "Where and when can we see Heather?"
When is now? It just got released not too long ago. The main ones would be like Amazon Prime, obviously everybody knows, Tubi, Fandango, and there's just a long list of other streaming platforms. I cannot keep track of how many are out there these days, but those ones are the top ones.
Great. So on the VOD, Anthony, thank you so much.
Well, we just got a super chat.
Oh, sure. Let's the last question.
Here we go. From Owen Knight for 5. Level with me. What do you think of the Fall Guy? Has Lee Majors and now Ryan Gosling lied to me about how cool the job is?
I actually don't watch the Fall Guy. What are they asking here?
Did you see the Fall Guy movie?
I did not.
It's being a stuntman as cool as it's made out to be.
I mean, no, I understand the Fall Guy. I actually never seen it. And if I knew about how cool it as in stunts. I mean, no, stunts is as cool or as boring as you want it to be. I mean, people think that, stunts is you go out there and you're working all day doing crazy things. No, you could literally just push someone slightly and that's a stunt and get paid for it. So there's a varying degrees of just doing a simple 10-yard run is a stunt to, falling off a building set on fire. So yeah, there's a lot of cool moments and there's a lot of just hanging around like people are used to.
Cool. Well, thank you, Anthony, for spending time with us. The film is Heather. It is out now, available on VOD. Check your favorite platforms. Hey, have a great weekend, man, and congrats on the movie.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Take care. There you go.
Yeah.
That was a show from Vegas. Oh my God. What am I doing here? This weekend, you can expect a look at AFM. I do have a panel on Saturday. If you are at AFM 3:30 on Saturday, I'm doing a panel on micro budget movies. It's a 90-minute panel. Should be a lot of fun. And then we're back Monday for Versus, Hollywood on the Rocks. And we are slammed in November. Slammed. Alan, what do you got coming up this weekend?
I got a screening of Long Legs this weekend. That's about it. And we're gonna try to catch up on a bunch of movies I'm missing right now.
What movies are you missing?
What movie? Well, I'm trying to see the best Christmas pageant ever, so we can talk about it next week.
Cool. And I just want to say thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth, who reminds us to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com. As for members, already in the community tab for members now is a special treat. You can win tickets to Walt Disney Concert Hall. Instructions for how to win are in the post. If no one from our members claims this prize, I'm opening it up to everyone. So there you go. That's your prize for being a member. And thank you to Atomic Lori and Glenn. You're just going to see a movie we already reviewed? Long Legs?
No, I'm seeing the best Christmas pageant ever.
Oh, see that movie so we can talk about it next week. And next week, we're talking about Red One.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
November is going to be awesome. And then Moana 2 is coming down the road.
It's a no-shave November. So Alan and I are both growing beards.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Well, we'll see.
Cool. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks so much. See you Monday with Versus. Alan?
Let's get out of here.